now have a look at the switch case. The switch case is another method of having conditional execution. In switch case, we have the keyword switch and then an expression. After the expression, we have in the curly braces the whole block of the switch, and we have different cases. Each case can have a value. So like if the expression is getting evaluated to numbers say 1, 2, 3 and so on up to 10. So we can have cases case 1, case 2, case 3 up to n. This is the case. We write the word case and the value that we want to check for. So let's say I want to check for 1. So I write here 1. This what we write here is the block for case 1. And then we have a break statement. The break statement takes the execution out of the switch block. So once the break is executed, it goes out here to execute statement X. If the value of the expression is 2, this will get executed. If it is 3, this will get executed. But it's not necessary that it gets executed in this order only. Let's say your expressions can take values 5, 6 and 7. So we'll write here case 5, case 6, case 7. And we don't have to write it in a serial order. We can write it case 7, case 5, case 6. Default is the case where none of the above cases are true. So let's say we have written here 5, 6 and 7, but the value that we get is 1. In that case, the default will be executed. One primary difference compared to if is, in if how we were checking was, it would check for the first condition. If the condition was false, it would go to the next condition, check for it. If it was true, execute the part for this question. If it was false, go to the next section where it will again check for the value. But in switch case, what we do is we directly jump to the section of that value. So let's say I have here 5, 6 and 7 and the expression is executing and the final result is 7. So it won't check for the first two cases, it will jump directly to this case. It will enter here, jump here and then come here. So the flowchart of switch case looks like we have a switch and the expression. Based on the value, it will take either the case 1 or case 2 or so on and to the default case. After executing that block, it will execute the break statement and then go over to the next part, which is the statement X here. So here you can see, like we had seen in if else, it was one after the other. Like case 1 would get executed or at least check for the condition, then go to case 2 and then the else part. But here we are directly jumping to the particular case. Let us see this in a program. So I have a simple program written here where I am taking an integer value and naming it num. I give it a value 8. Then I use the switch case, switch to number. So this is the expression that we are giving and the value here is 8. So like I had told you, since the value is 8, it won't execute this case 7. It will jump directly to 8, execute this statement and execute the break. So it will directly jump out of this. Let us build and run this. So we run and we see the value is 8. Now if we change this value to 7, we build it again and run. So the value is 7. Now instead of one statement, we can have multiple statements here. So let's say I give here the value is again 7. Let me build this and run. So what I get here is value is 7, value is again 7. So two printf statements are executed without a slash n in between. Let's give a slash n here. And sorry, we have to build it again. And I run it. We have both these statements. Now let me give a statement here, a printf statement, to show you that after the execution of the switch block, this statement is getting executed. this is outside the switch block, and I'll give a slash and at the beginning of this so that it comes in the next line. Fill this and see. So after these two statements are executed, this is the statement which is getting executed. So in this case, these three statements are part of the case 7. These two statements are part of case 8, these two of 9, and this is of default. The difference with if else is that depending on this value, the execution jumps directly to that particular case instead of checking one by one. So we can use switch cases in situations where we know the exact values that we are going to get for something and what exactly we want to execute instead of checking it again and again. Now for the default part gets executed when none of these cases are found, when the case is not 7, nor 8, nor 9. So let's give it some case, let's say 6. When we build this and run, we get out of range. That is because it did not find any of the three cases and hence it executed the default part. Now coming to the break statement that we have here. The break statement tells the compiler that once these two lines are executed, you break out of this whole section, of this whole block. You break out and go to the statement after this, that is go here. So if we don't execute this break statement, so I've just commented it, let's see what happens. Let me give a slash n here and build it again. Now I run it. So what I see is out of range. Okay, out of range means it's coming to the default statement because the value is 6. Let's give it the value 7 and run. So what I get is value is 7, then the next statement value is again 7, and then it comes to this statement value is 8. It means that it started executing from this point and it kept on going till it executed the break statement. That is why if we don't want it to execute this case, we have to make it break out here itself. This proves another point that the execution does not happen serially, it just jumps at this point. So let's say our value is 8. Let's build this and see what happens. So when we build this, you see these statements are not executed. So that means the execution from here jumped directly to this statement. And then it executed this statement and then jumped to this. So similarly, if I don't include this break, what do I get? I get value is 8 and then it prints value is 9. So how switch works is, we give it a value, based on that value it jumps to that particular case and starts executing from that point. It's like we are telling it whatever is the value, jump to that particular location in the code and keep on executing from there on. But we don't want it to enter this case in case of 8. So we give a break statement here, and similarly for each of the cases. This is one of the very common mistakes I've seen people do. That is forgetting the break statement and finding that multiple cases are getting executed. So if you ever include a switch case and find that multiple cases are getting executed, the first thing that you should check is the break condition. Are the break conditions included or not? Also note one thing, just like if statement, there is no end of statement here, no semicolon, but the cases end with a colon, not a semicolon. That is the double dots.